What is up, obscure mic people? Bart coming at you yet again. Currently talking on the Fifine K669D, but Bandrew on the Creator Connection the other day brought up a pretty good point, and one that we forget quite often. We've got this K669D, great deal, $35, $37, something like that, right? Good deal. But handheld dynamics often sound just as good, if not better, sometimes slightly worse, than these into-dress broadcast style mics that we love. I love this one. For some reason, I love the SM7B AWS2, I think it is, windscreen on it. I just think it looks just kind of nice, kind of cool. But today, as per the thumbnail, FDUCE 9.0S is in the house. And this is a handheld dynamic I got for $12. $12. Got an air conditioner on the studio. Let's turn that off. $12. What do you get for $12? Let's show you on some B-roll. 9.0S, which stands for switch. Comes in a box. That's a nice, for $12. Not a bad deal. You got a XLR cable. It's XLR to 1/4 inch, which, those can come in handy. It's a long one. That's what she said. Not so shabby. Documentation. We got some of that. Let's close that back up. I've had this for a while, but I don't think there was a mic clip with it. But FDUCE 9.0S. The build quality on this thing is absolutely excellent. Nothing wrong here. Good weight. Doesn't feel like cheap metal. On-off switch. XLR port at the bottom. The grill is pretty decent. No give, really. Solid enough. Underneath the grill, you've got a capsule that doesn't look like your typical run-of-the-mill so-so capsule. Like, it looks pretty decent, actually. Which begs the question, how does it sound? FDUCE 9.0S. $12. Let's go. And boom goes the dynamite. FDUCE 9.0S. My bad. I've got a mic clip here wired up. Ran into the Vocaster 2 just like the Fifine K669D was wired up to it. And I think they sound similar. Maybe kind of close in sound. Let me grab this again. Interesting. Let's take the windscreen off to be fair. So this is the K669D. This is the FDUCE 9.0S. So one of my current favorite podcast microphones in the Fifine K669D. And I don't think this FDUCE is terribly far off of the sound, actually. And with this windscreen, the Fifine sounded pretty good and tamed a little bit of the harshness. And with this windscreen on, it also tames a little bit of the harshness. But I think the Fifine just maybe ever so slightly smoother sounding, but it's not much. So if you like that bright, crisp sound, this Fifine 9.0S is going to give you that bright and crisp sound. It is very bright and crisp, but not overly harsh and not overly offensive. I think it's actually pretty solid. Let's throw some podcasting on it. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Some podcasting. Let's go ahead and hop into the Vocaster hub and throw a radio sound on this microphone real quick. All right, now we've got a radio sound on it. Let's try warm. Okay, now we've got a warm sound on it. Okay, warm maybe a little better. So warm, processing one-touch Vocaster 9.0S. Kind of has a radio sound to it. Kind of impressed with this microphone for $12. Let's turn that processing back off and do some tests. All right, we've got the processing off. Now we're going to do some testy tests. I don't have a lot of room here to do the test because I wired this up to my boom arm, but I can do it still. Here we go. Plosives first. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickle pineapple pizza. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickle pineapple pizza. Doesn't handle plosives great, but what does? Let's get right on top of the microphone so you can hear what it sounds like when you're directly on top of the FDUCE 9.0S. That's becoming tough to say over time. It's okay though. Now let's get back off the microphone a little bit and go 90 degrees off axis rejection. 90 degrees. 180 degrees. 90 again, and back around to the front of the microphone. Pretty solid rejection. As you heard, some handling noise. So despite the fact that this feels really sturdy, the metal may be of the slightly cheap variety, but I'm telling you, it's got good heft to it. So it's very confusing that the handling noise is that bad. But yet again, like so many times before, it does not cost a lot to start a decent sounding podcast. You could probably wire this thing straight into a phone or camera or something like that and get a pretty decent enough sound, but a cheap interface, Bandrew UM2, something like that, Tayun Q12, one of those things, you're probably going to sound pretty good with this thing. So FDUCE 9.0S for $12 on the BBSAR. Again, $12 here. I think this might be my favorite number of all time, but I'm going to give it an 8. I think it is a very strong buy for $12, especially if you just want clarity. You want to do a YouTube channel. You want to do a podcast. You want to do, something that doesn't require you to have the best sound ever, but you want to be clear and precise to your audience. The FDUCE 9.0S is going to do that. This thing cuts right through everything. If I had a bunch of trumpets in here, I could yell into this thing and you'd still hear me. So, FDUCE, nice little cheap budget microphone. And I wanted to get back to a handheld or two. Been doing some random stuff. Filmed a weird video about a fill light tonight, like a video light. And that was cool, but, we got to get back to the obscure mics as well. So much gear coming in left and right, it's hard to keep up with, but yeah, FDUCE didn't send me this one. I saw it for $12 and thought, how bad could it be for $12? Turns out, pretty good. Obscure mics. FDUCE 9.0S is out of here. Bark's out of here. See you guys on the next one. Peace out.